Did you know a man who grew up doing farm chores in one of Kentucky's most rural counties became the longest contracted entertainer in Las Vegas history? Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm learning a little bit more about my fellow Kentuckians. Probably the most famous person ever born in Adair County, Kentucky, spent part of his childhood stripping tobacco leaves on a 100-acre farm outside of the city of Columbia. That same man, at one point, had a $27 million theater in Las Vegas built specifically for him. Before I get into it all, I want to give a quick shout out to Columbia-Adair County Tourism for recently having me down to explore the area. I had never really spent any significant amount of time down there before, and I have to say, I was genuinely impressed. Their hospitality was incredible. Holmes Bend Marina was a really beautiful spot to stay. The Historical Society and library are doing serious work preserving what makes that part of Kentucky worth knowing about. And just the general landscape down there, that stretch of south central Kentucky is truly stunning. To everybody that I met down there on that trip, thank you for making it an even better trip. One of the stories that caught my attention while I was down there was the story of Lance Burton, a Kentuckian I knew by name, but didn't really know nearly well enough. So, wanted to fix that. Lance Burton grew up between two worlds. His mother was born and raised in the tiny community of Breeding, Kentucky in Adair. His father was drafted into the Army just before Lance was born, so his mother went back to her own mother's house for the birth. His father eventually came home, and the family packed up and moved to Louisville for work. But they kept the farm. Lance's grandfather, Taylor Burton, bought that land in the 1930s. Lance's dad grew up on it, hunting and fishing and farming. When his parents retired, they moved back. Lance eventually would build them a house on the property. He probably knew that he would end up there too. Lance was 5 years old when his mother took him to the Frito-Lay company Christmas party. The featured performer was a magician named Harry Collins, who worked full-time as Frito-Lay's corporate entertainer. Collins performed a trick called the Miser's Dream, pulling silver dollars seemingly out of the air and out of little boys' ears. One little boy was Lance Burton, and he went home changed. He was obsessed, and a neighbor heard about his new obsession and gave him a book called Magic Made Easy. It had 10 tricks in it. Lance learned all 10. He started charging the neighborhood kids a nickel each to watch him perform. Harry Collins noticed the devotion. Collins took him under his wing, taught him sleight of hand, card manipulation, and the art of misdirection. As a teenager, Burton worked at Caufield's Novelty shop on West Main Street here in Louisville before he went school sports to practice. At 16, he started doing paid shows alongside another young Louisville magician named Mac King. Both of them would end up as Las Vegas headliners. Both of them got their start at the same magic shop here in Louisville. In 1977, Burton entered his first magic competition and won first prize. In 1980, at age 20, he won the Gold Medal of Excellence from the International Brotherhood of Magicians. Then he moved to Southern California. Within a week of arriving in California, he was booked on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Carson watched the rehearsal and was so impressed by his skills that he gave Burton an unprecedented 12-minute slot. In 1982, Burton competed at the FISM World Championship of Magic in Switzerland and won the Grand Prix, the top prize in the entire competition. He was the youngest person to ever win it and the first American to win it. He spent 9 years as the featured act at the Foley's Bazaar in Las Vegas. Then he headlined his own show at the Hacienda Hotel for 5 more years. In August of 1994, he signed a 13-year contract with the Monte Carlo Resort, the longest contract ever given to any performer in Las Vegas in history at that point. They built him a 1,274-seat theater. It cost them $27 million. It had his name on it, the Lance Burton Theater, opened in June 21st, 1996. Las Vegas Review-Journal readers voted him Best Magician 18 years in a row. He performed for President Reagan at the Ford Theater in Washington. He performed for Queen Elizabeth II in a Royal Command performance in London. Now, after the Reagan show, the president came backstage, shook his hand, and told him he'd be up all night trying to figure out how he did it. By the time he retired in 2010, he had performed more than 15,000 shows for more than 5 million people. And then he went home. In October of 2020, Burton moved back to the farm in Columbia, about 100 miles south of Louisville. Today, he supports organizations like the Kentucky Humane Society, the local Green River Animal Shelter in Adair County, and WHAS Crusade for Children, which has served every one of Kentucky's 120 counties since 1954. He put it simply in a PBS interview once, quote, "For me, life has come full circle, back to where I started. There I am." The farm his grandfather bought during the Depression, the same land where he as a boy once stripped tobacco by hand, the place a family left because there was no other choice. It turned out that that place may have been the destination the entire time. " 」 « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « 『 I was never good at magic.